Hello, folks, and welcome back. Although for some reason I can't be seen. Why can't I be seen? I've got TheWikifish here with me. Hello.
Hello.
Sure, reporting for duty.
Happened at the moment with this, and I don't know why it is, and I'm not overly happy. There we go. That's working. It's not working. Why is it not working? Is it working? It's working now. Okay, good. Hi, hello chat. Hello. I'll quickly swap into Starsector again. Also, happy
Sure,
Turkey Day.
reporting for duty.
Who eat turkey today? Hope you're having a nice Turkey Day. Let me swap back to Discord. Say something, Wiki, just so I know it's working for you as well.
Stream's working okay. Nothing
Yeah,
on
good.
Discord though.
Nah, I just want to make sure that the thing that it's turning up for you is turning up for everyone. I need to get this to do this. Now look at the game over. And let me quickly just do the thing where I have to do to make Discord want to share this, because it doesn't want to do it half the time. Nope. I have to like tab in and out really, really fast.
and that makes it work.
Yep. Like if I tab,
okay, it works.
it works. And if I tab out of Discord, it disappears off the list of games that I can pick. Although now, Streamlabs, what are you doing with my life? Hey Zygorg. What are you doing with my life, Streamlabs? Why do you do this to me? Why is Streamlabs having issues today, huh? Happens to you always, happens to me. Usually it's completely, totally fine, and today's just like, no, I'm not going to do anything today. There we go. I know, Streamlabs being Streamlabs. I need to swap over to OBS Studio at some point. Well, hello everyone. It's alive, it is alive.
I will never question your mystical rain dance ever again. Just alt tab quickly until it works.
Yeah, for some reason Streamlabs was being a bitch, but then again, that's what Streamlabs does. Yes, hello folks, and welcome back to round 5, I think? Round 5 of the Soup Kitchen tournament. You may have noticed that my voice is quite deep, it's because I'm currently recovering from a lost voice, but I should be fine. If it was like a full 3-hour tournament, possibly not, but for these it's probably lovely. So yeah, so we're going to carry on this week with the next fights, which so we're over the halfway mark now. We're over the hump at this point. Sounds pretty sick. Thank you, Angelus. Much appreciated. Hello. So how are things looking from a score perspective? I mean, do we have is it very mixed, or do we have people?
It's reasonably mixed.
It's reasonably mixed. That's nice.
It is reasonably mixed. There's been quite a few surprises and quite a few interesting matches all the way through. So I don't want to comment on the scores too much, but I reckon it's going to be open for most people.
Yeah.
We'll decide exactly.
Our special agents have gained information about something that could change the history of humanity.
It's been 23 months, so I'm out of witty lines.
Thank you for the resub, Titan. Much appreciated. Yeah, so we carry on this week with Sea Synapse, the low-tech fighting the high-tech, finally. The low-tech fighting the high-tech. We have...
Never safety overrides Hyperions. Never again.
Never again safety over Hyperions. Oh. Then we have Pure Tilt's Scalatech fighting off versus Pixie Code's Magellan. Some of these haven't changed much, if at all, or they've just changed loadouts, not ship-wise. So I was trying to see what has changed. And some fleets have changed, so there have been changes, but some fleets haven't changed at all, as far as I can see.
Magellan's the same. I think everybody else has got slight updates.
Then we have LOA fighting against Midline, which only has one monitor this week. Then we have the Imperium is ending today with fighting against the Shadow Yards. Nebula, yeah, no, we'll get to that. Don't worry about that. We'll get to the Nebula. I have words about Nebulous. But yeah, so we're starting off with C-Synapse's low-tech versus Pixie Code's high-tech. It seems, at least from this screen, to be the same as last week. Couple of flashers running the contenders and flare guns and the large amounts of hull mods. The Moras running
like those contender cannons.
The Moras running Sabo and Harpoon, Thunders, Drakes, and Talons. Only 2 Moras this time around. A Legion now running the Perdition, Thunder, Double Talons, with Mark 9, Devastators, Sabo Pods, and Annihilator Rocket Pods. An Onslaught with the Flamer Onslaught, basically, with point defense machine guns. There's no PDSL conversion here. They're point defense machine guns. And as well as 3 Aegis flat cannons. 2 Vindicators running Squalls, Hammers, and Sabos. The Hammers might be new, actually. Hey, Lightning. I think the Hammers might be new. I don't remember the Hammers being there last week. And then the Calibers with Breaches and Ghost Cannons. And then,
how many of these ships they got in total? Not too many.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hulls.
And they do have a bit of a fighter screen, but we have to remember some of those are Talons.
Yeah.
Whether you want to count them or not is controversial.
They've gotten kills in this tournament. They've actually gotten kills in this tournament.
I was quite surprised with that mixed Mora with Talons and Thunders and something else, and it was actually quite effective.
Thunders, Drakes, and Talons, yeah. 3 different speeds. Yeah. But it worked. Right, and then we have Pixie Code's high-tech with the Plasma Cannon Paragon. No Ion Beam this week, so full-on point defense. There used to be 1 Ion Beam there, but now they're all point defenses. The Shades, as per usual, with a Reaper and a Needler, so 3 Shades. 3 Omens with AMs, AMBs, and Burst Lasers. The Kronos are running the Tachyon Lance Phase Lance setup, as well as the Proximity Charge Launchers. And the Vortexes are running Falxes and Wasp Wings. Surprised the Paragon stuck around, Pixie'd be rumbling about swapping it. Well, the loadout has changed. It's literally 1 Ion Beam to a Post Laser, but that has changed.
I think this is going to be a very, very fast fight. Like, the first 30 seconds are going to be absolutely brutal.
Expanded Missile Racks now on the...
finish each other off.
No, Expanded Missile Racks on the Kronos, they used to be HS. What's HS? As a hull mod, HS. Hard Shields. That's right, it's not Hardened Shield. Expanded Missile Racks just for the Proximity Charge Launchers? I guess you can spam them out very quickly while in speed-up mode.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right, let's go. Round 5, match 1. Let's go this. Low-tech versus high-tech. It's actually been a long time coming, low-tech versus high-tech. And Paragon versus Onslaught.
It's always an interesting fight, particularly when high-tech goes very offensive.
High-tech goes offensive, and the entire low-tech fleet has got shield shunt. I don't think this is going to go well for low-tech. Because that's a lot of plasma fire for the Onslaught. It's going to have to shield tank all of it. Sorry, I have to shield new chair low watch. Well, it means low-tech, best tech. Let's see how it works out. Incoming Kronos, Caliber...
Reaper right out of the gate.
Out of the gate, gets taken out. The Wasps take out a lot of the fighters. 2 Reapers out already. Kronos being engaged. 3rd Reaper out. Kronos dashing in, but getting flamed. Actively getting flamed by the Onslaught. Taking some minor hull damage there. Although a lot of weapons have been disabled. The Second Lance is shutting things down. Onslaught, the Kronos are taking flame damage. Although there's a lot of phase lances here, the Onslaught is already at about 75% hull, and it's taking a lot of damage. It is taking so much damage.
Big hole in its armor.
Yep, it has no more frontal armor basically, and now you've got plasma shots coming in at long range from the Paragon. It's at about a quarter health now, about 10% dead. That's a dead Onslaught. The first lost ship is in fact the Onslaught. Is the Onslaught is the first ship to die.
That is a bit surprising, without a burn drive in use.
It was definitely more aggressive this time around. Every ship on this low-tech fleet is shield shunted. Right, there we go. Here we have Squalls, the Legion, the Ghost Cannon, all fighting the Paragon, but there's Kronos support. Caliber goes down. Legion is now face tanking the Kronos and the Plasma Cannon shots. It's at about 40% hull, 25% hull. It manages to pull back just long enough, although second Kronos is getting in there. Legion goes down. That's both capitals of low-tech down, as well as a destroyer. They're being systematically taken apart here.
I did like those little bomblets, though, that low-tech seems to be putting out. They did cause a Kronos to have its shield facing rear as the Onslaught engaged it. That was quite good.
Yeah, Vindicator down, Lasher down. Mora at about 40% hull, dealing with a foul swing, a shade, and the Kronos about to end the existence. Kronos takes it out. The Paragon's just having a nice time there, just relaxing, taking a point. Kronos engaging the other Vindicator. That goes down.
So I was very worried with these Kronoses because they can move so fast, and putting Lancers on them, there's the potential for them to start to hit the target on target and then rip the Lance away by turning too fast. And we have seen a few Lancers go off target like that, but not very many. Maybe only 5%.
The Phase Lancers have been on point that sometimes attacking on Lance can't quite manage to stay on target for the entire time. That is a very, very EMP caliber over there. It was like 2 Shades and an Omen's EMP at the same time. All we've got left now is Amora. I think it's going to be a shame. He's being attacked by all the frigates. The Vortex is actually coming in aggressively here, because it's got Antimatter Blaster, which it wants to use. It takes a shot off the Antimatter Blaster. And the Mini Blasters as well. The point defense Mini Blasters on the Vortex coming in. Plasma Cannon fire from the Paragon off to the side. Mora goes down.
Yep, we did have some friendly fire proximity mines, but they tanked it quite well.
That is a shame, unfortunately, for low-tech there. I know that low-tech can armor tank a lot of things. I don't think they can armor tank this much. And it is a meme at this point, having them all shield shunted, but they will struggle up against... Because they do damage, but high-tech can just put the shield up.
They do a lot of damage. So what happened? So the Onslaught was in the fight for a fair while, but it did lose a lot of its flamers.
Yeah, because...
It was still firing. It was still somewhat operational.
Because the EMPs just show everything out.
Yep.
Armor tanking
Yep.
it.
One good thing that we've learned is that EMP will always punch through. It doesn't matter how many hit points you give it.
I mean, these, and if I remember correctly, these are the ones they're set up to have a lot of things. They have automated repair units. Some of them have the Onslaught itself has advanced armored weapon mounts, advanced turret generators, heavy armor, automated repair units. It doesn't have the RFCs as well. All this stuff has been there. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The attacking alliance comes on, just turns off all the guns. Just turns them all off. We've known from early on that the flamers can do a lot of damage, and in this time, because what happened last week is high-tech still won, but the Kronos is basically suicide attacked the entire time. Whereas this time they didn't die.
They took out something important and then imploded.
Yeah, because they were fighting midline before, so they dashed in, killed the Griffins, and then left, and then died. I guess high-tech lost last week. You're correct. Did they lose last week? So what was the week I'm thinking of? Is where the Kronos was basically dashed in, killed the Griffins, and then died. That was it. That was last week, because the only thing that died was the Griffins. The only thing that died was the Griffins. The Crosses went in, killed the Griffins, and then they were wiped out, and then Midline just wiped the rest of them out. Yeah, right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It is good to see that the fleets are keeping to this hyper aggression, though. One of the potential things that can happen is everyone goes very, very aggressive, and then they start dialing it back. But no, this is very good. That was a very, very quick opening.
I'm very, very fond of hyper aggression. All right, so that's match 1 goes to High Tech. Match 2 is Magellan versus Scalar Tech. So Pixie Code's Magellan.
I'll say Magellan fleet.
Yep. Bone Crushers, Autoguns, Longfire LRMs, the Bastard Sword Corvettes. Seems to be unchanged from what I've seen. The Jaegers, the Q, Grafs, the SO Grafs, the Edgers running the 3 Jet Wings. Last thing on my fleet, I do long range bombardment. That is what I play. When I play, I do go for long range bombardment. I like long range bombardment. Yep, I think this fleet seems to be unchanged from last week. This Magellan fleet. Or if there's a change, it's a very subtle one.
No, I think it's the same one.
Yeah. And then we
It's performing decently.
I mean, I think since they've swapped out and put the Pori with Bone Crushers, I don't think they've lost since. That Pori's been more than a match for anything it goes up against. And we have Pure Tilt Scalar Tech running the 3 Tresses with harpoons. Only harpoons. There's just harpoons here. Not expanded missile racks, which I find very odd. No expanded missile racks, but yet the only weapon it's got is harpoons. And 2 Twine Wings. The core sets have got the built-in Plague drones, running double Tachyon Lance, quadruple Flechette guns, and some Sabopods, and the 3 Skies, each of them running some Flechette guns and another Tachyon Lance. This is the 7 Tachyon Lance fleet. Again, this seems to be the same fleet as last week as well. It's basically
looks like full up on vents, but missing a lot of capacitors on a lot of ships. Only about halfway there.
The core sets have got plenty of... They've got some capacitors, yes. The Tresses have got some capacitors as well, but very much erring inside of vents rather than capacitors. And we found out who had it last week. That an Echo Arc broke into a Tress. No, I think it's 1 Tress is an Echo Arc, 1 core set has an Echo Arc, and then the other 3 Echo Arcs are in the skies, I believe is what it was. What was the fleet last week that basically went 0 on all capacitors? There was a fleet last week that's... Well, it was low-tech last week, wasn't it? That went 0 on all capacitors.
Low-tech? It might have been low-tech.
Hang on, let me quickly go back and check the capacitor numbers for low-tech here. Yeah, no capacitors at all. Which is weird, because they were far more aggressive this week than they were last week. Last week, they were not aggressive at all, with 0 capacitors. Last week, the problem was the onslaught just stayed back.
That's right, yep.
But not this week. They got stuck in.
I mean, honestly, it stayed back this time as well.
No, it got in.
High Tech just really dove in there.
Yeah. So, let's go for match 2, which is Magellan versus Scalar Tech. Hang on, let me just have a swig.
Scalar Tech with all vents, I think, is quite good. They're already quite nimble. I think they can really take advantage of all of those vents. So this should be quite an interesting one.
Again, it's more about, I think, because even though there are 8 ships on Scalar Tech, it is really mostly about the core sets in the skies. The Tresses are just there for fighter support, really, because they'll use their harpoons very early anyway. So it's more about if you can 5 ships go off against one of the widest fleets we've got? I mean, that's what, 9, 6, 10, 13, 16, 18 ships. Yeah, 18 ships on one side and 8 on the other. but I'd say that's really 5 combat ships and 3 carriers. But yeah.
It might depend who wins the fighter war as well.
There are, I think, 7 fighter wings on Magellan's side, because there's the 2 carriers, and then there's the Bastor corvette, which has been fielded by, I think, the Pori. Whereas there's way more fighters. Well, there's 10 fighter wings on the Skeletek side. Right, here we go. Match 2. The Jaeger's dashing ahead to get points. Very aggressive. Grabbing points already. Skeletek, of course, doesn't have the speed.
Oh, wow.
They are nimble, but they haven't really got the speed for it. They haven't got small ships to dash forward. Yep.
Go, capture their points. Go.
Jaeger going in. Nope. Has to fall back. Can't quite capture the Skeletek points there. Uh-oh. Long-range missiles coming out. One of the frigates there, one of the little deckers, is facing the wrong way, gets hit by Tachyon Lance. In unarmored hull, goes immediately down. Tachyon Lance popping a frigate facing the wrong direction. The decker immediately goes down. The Graf's now sitting in the front of the corsets there. 2 coming in.
Skeletek starting to get pressured. You can see the edges of the battle line starting to wrap around a bit.
Yep. Jaeger's taking some damage. Trying to dance around a sky over there. Pori engaging the corset now. Pori just doing what it needs to do, staying at range, firing all the Bone Crushers and the missiles. Corset is about to go down. It's taken so much damage already. Corset goes down. Explosion takes out a Tress. The Twofer. That's one of the capitals down. Second Tress goes down. That's 2 of the carriers down immediately. I think the damage from the second Tress also came from the explosion of the corset. Right, other corset is already is taking damage already. It's being pressured, so it can't keep its shield up. About 6, 2/3, and the second corset goes down. All that's left now is a Tress and 3 skies. I mean, that Pori just eats anything in front of it right now. Yeah, that Pori just consumes whatever's in front of it. It is also very high flux right now, so the Grafs, will they finish the job? Yep, the Grafs finished the job. That's 2 skies at the same time. This one died here at exactly the same time as well, being attacked by the Cube and the other Graf. The fighters are dancing around as well. The carriers, the Magellan carriers have been very good at staying well out of it. They've been very, very good at just staying well. They've never even seen enemies in close range. Sky goes down. All that's left is a single Tress. That goes down too. 174 seconds. That was fast. It wasn't Shane because a couple of frigates got hit by Tachyon Lances at wrong times, but that was very fast.
It's very interesting to see both the capital obviously performing extremely well, but also the frigates just peeling off some of the other ships.
I mean, the Jaegers have been very good at doing that. Basically just speeding around and just dancing around things. They've been very, very good at distraction tactics. And again, it's usually 12. I think it's 11 at the moment frigates for Magellan. So there's a lot of little peeling happened there, here and there. But I was genuinely surprised how fast the first corset went down. They got pressured so hard they just disappeared. Also, they all seem to be set to steady. The Skeletek AI is all set to steady. Officers, I mean. Whereas the Pori is reckless. The Q is reckless. Where are the other ones? Where are the other ones? Did you get 5 officers?
5 skills.
Or 5 skills. They can be split between as many officers as you want, basically.
Yeah, so he might have split them something like 3 and 2 for 2 officers.
Yeah, they want tall officers, but right on ships, and it's working out. I mean, that Pori is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
Reckless is interesting because it can be surprisingly reliable.
That's match 2. Very, very fast. Very fast indeed.
I'm a little disappointed they didn't dive forward and successfully capture the enemy point right underneath it. They were very close.
They're very close. They got about halfway there, and then the Jaeger had to back out. 174 seconds. I mean, I haven't really been taking like stock of like shortest match, but that's up there. Right, match 3 today is LOA versus Midline. The LOA fleet again seems unchanged to me. We're running the 2 Alistairs.
No changes to the Alistairs.
The Leon
Lions medium mounts switched around.
Oh yeah, Bulldogs and heavy autocannons. Those heavies weren't there before, I don't think.
Yep, and Mauler.
Maulers? Where?
On the Lions.
No, Bulldogs.
Two flak instead of 1, a heavy AC and a Bulldog AC. Instead of 2 particle cannons and a Mauler. The Mauler's been taken off.
Yeah.
Victoria now has a flamer and converted hangars. Interesting.
Yep, they're also running monodrones. They got flamers.
Sherman's lost their bongos. Got ion cannons.
Yep.
Interesting choice.
They're no longer purely defensive. The Shermans have now have an ion cannon, and the Walshes have machine guns. And with assault conversion, so they're aggressive machine guns. And again, it's still 1, 2. I mean, the only ships that don't have siege cannons here are the Shermans. Everything else has got a siege cannon. And this, as we saw last week, early siege cannon spam can just destroy small frigates. Let's see how this works out. Hang on, is that JoJo references?
Oh, again.
Cars,
The
ECDC, and
fleet
Whammo,
song.
yes. That's a JoJo reference. Snap, crackle, and pop. Some of you may die, but that's fine. Verdigris, tarnish, and rust. And sheer heart attack bites the dust on the Alistairs as well.
Once again, we see the size of the fleets being quite different.
And on the Idiopathics midline side, we have 1, 2, 3 conquests. Actually, kind of symmetrical this time around. Actively kind of symmetrical this time around. We've got hammer barrages rather than the squalls, so they actually be facing forwards.
Interesting.
Before it was double squalls and then all the weapons on one side. Now we've got Devastators and an Aegis on one side, on either side. There's a heavy ion beam and a heavy blaster and 2 hammer barrages with expended missile ranks as well. These are very different conquests than you saw last week. Couple of the champions with plasma cannons.
That's a lot of hammer barrages.
Yep, hammer barrages there. And the archers have flamers, converted hangars for thunders, and hornets. We have the High Nemo Trollololo Nebula class, specifically for me. It's an intentional nebula. I did mention last week that Idiopathic is the kind of person to give me an intentional nebula, and we have now an intentional nebula. It's basically here to launch a Thunderwind, and basically we'll see how long it lasts. And the Baby Don't Hurt Me monitor, an SO monitor.
That SO monitor has been very effective.
Only one this week though, so it's not 3. It's not 3 of them running around. It's just the one.
So hammer barrages, I think, put out the most damage in the shortest amount of time out of all of the available options.
Yeah, that is. Well, that's 6,000 high explosive damage every 5 seconds, give or take. And there's 2 of them, so that's 12,000 basically.
With the extended missile racks, because they do have ammo issues.
Yeah, so they usually come with 5 bursts. That's 10 bursts each, which is a total of 60 bursts between all 3 conquests. 60 times.
What are they going to fire at?
LOA, apparently. Here we go.
I think those hammer barrages are definitely going to be the one to watch. Will they actually impact something, or will they get duped?
Will they impact something? Will the Navy that just died to siege cannon spam?
Yeah, Cyclones, I think, put out more total damage over their lifespan, and their lifespan is considerably longer, whereas hammer barrages just front load everything.
Okay, here we go. The Conquest pushing forward. Here come immediate siege cannon shots coming out, getting intercepted. However, they all seem to go past. Lyon immediately getting it focused down here by the champion. It's already high flux. Gets taken out by a champion. A second. Victoria, not Lyon. Last week, what happened was that LOA was allowed to basically form a firing line. They're not being allowed to form it this time around. Those hammer barrages are coming in. These conquests are basically bullying close range shots into ships. That's a beautiful hammer barrage over there. Just Leon goes down. Sherman goes down. Yep. Leon goes down again.
Definitely getting shots on target.
Yep. They're coming in and they're focused firing. Although a conquest is about 2/3 health there.
Oh,
second Leon goes down.
3 hammer barrages, 4 hammer barrages. They don't have a lot of ammo, but they're being very impactful.
Yep. Now, what are the Allies going to be able to do about this? Although Leon goes down.
Shots on.
Leon goes down.
Pressure on.
Oh my god, look at those hammer barrages. Although Victoria goes down. Hammer barrages towards the Alistair as well. One of the conquests is almost dead, but I don't think it's going to die fast enough. It's 3 conquests now. Hammer barrage coming in, hammer barrages, hammer barrages. That's 4 hammer barrages at once. Ablative armor of a Leon basically helping it here. 2 more hammer barrages coming in.
Oh, that snuck around the shield.
Just sneaking around the shield there. Hammer barrage at long range, no, gets stopped by the shield. Alistair goes down. Wash is overloaded. They were not allowed to make their firing line this time around. Will they at least kill a champion? Champion goes down, so it is not a shame. But there's so many hammer barrages coming out. Oh no! Victoria goes down. I think the Victoria's explosion actually destroyed a hammer barrage torpedoes there or something.
They've still got hammer barrages left.
Yep. And that's just unloading it into the rear of the Alistair, who has to put his shields back now. They're never ending. Champion goes down. All that's left now is a little wash over there.
So I think I saw 4 hammer barrages go awry, and everything else was more or less on target.
Yep, they've been very, very good.
That's a lot of damage.
Yep, the Nebula's still alive. The Nebula lives.
The mascot.
Both champions went down. I missed when the second champion died, but both champions went down. But that's a very... Hammer barrages being used to great effect by the AI there. That was glorious to see. There's like 6 hammer barrages going down to the same ship at the same time. And just getting caught on the shield, but even then it's not enough. Shield can't hold it forever.
So LOA very much got compressed into a scrum. There definitely wasn't their traditional battle line that they really want to see.
Which is very interesting, considering they are also far wider.
Yep.
The midline here. They could... I mean, the battle line was theirs to form. I think the Conquest just didn't let it. The Conquests were like maneuvering jets on charge. Get as close as possible to put those hammer barrages essentially against their hull as much as possible. And they just didn't sit back at range, which is what happened last week. Last week, both fleets wanted to stay at long range, and then LOA just won out. Whereas the Conquests were not set up for long range. I mean, these Conquests are not set up to... Because the weapons on the sides are technically point defense weapons, it doesn't want... It doesn't feel the need to broadside. So it's keeping its nose towards the enemy. And all the DPS of 2 hammer barrages there. Working very well.
So interestingly, I think the LOA fleet, so sometimes when fleets get compressed, they lose because some of their ships can't fire. They can't find targets. But with the way that occurred in that scrum, LOA, all of their ships, I think, always had targets.
Yeah.
I think that was just out-pressured. The sheer amount of pressure coming off of those hammer barrages is absolutely insane.
Yeah. I mean, Victoria's going down, and then Leon going down, and then as the ships went down, there was less and less things for the Conquest to worry about. They started focusing the hammer barrages on bigger ships. I mean, the Alistair getting essentially hit by so many hammer barrages, it couldn't do a thing. Then the Alistair facing off against the champion on the right-hand side there, had its shield facing the champion, which meant that the Conquest behind it put 2 hammer barrages that killed the Victoria, but basically into the rear of the Alistair as well.
Yep.
Yeah, very, very strong win for midline there, and demonstrating the power of hammer barrages, because that is 8 spread out among the whole fleet. And we end today, which has gone very, very fast, actually. Very fast. So I think it was 174 seconds.
Hyper-aggression will do that.
Yeah, 174 seconds for the second match. I think 209 seconds for the third match. And we end up with Interstellar Imperium versus Shadow Yards here. We start off with a Adamas, which I haven't seen in a long time. I've not seen an Adamas. Oh, no, that's a lie. I'm not thinking of Adamas. What am I thinking of? There wasn't an Adamas last week. I think I'm thinking of Jupiter's. Is everyone going to be brave enough to put a Jupiter into this? Jupiter's the one that doesn't move, isn't it? Jupiter's like the satellite that has like super long range beam but doesn't actually move.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's still in there. It used to be like a Jupiter. It has like has no movement speed because it's meant to represent a satellite. It just stays there and charges a massive beam. It's a 0.8 hull. Oh, okay, it's not there anymore. That's a shame. It was a meme. I mean, it was a meme. You're just essentially dragging a satellite around with you. Still in the II files though. Interesting. Okay, so the Adamas here has the Lux Finis. Someone asked about what their system was. They basically got the built-in light spear gun, and they can press a button, and that basically lets them. These photon blasters then turn in a really nice animation, and then basically buff up the light spear. So we have several Atropos torpedo racks, the photon blasters, Sabo packs. He's sneezing. The elite package means that the light spear does EMP damage and arcs to weapons and engines.
Interesting.
The dictators are also running elites, so they get extreme speed and maneuverability while the turbo feeder is active. They also SO'd machine guns with PDSL conversions and the triple proximity charge launcher this time. There's an additional proximity charge launcher here. Those were very funny last time. I want to see how they do this time around.
I think they did good work last time. A little bit controversial. They did a lot of something. I think it was useful.
It looked good. How much EMP damage they do, I can't really tell from here because it doesn't actually change the. I don't believe putting the elite package, it doesn't actually change the values here, unfortunately.
No.
But it does extra EMP damage, and the base damage of the light spear is 8,000 damage, so it is considerable. We have 2 Ardea classes running HVDs, heavy maulers, and a pair of Draconarius wings, and as well as Hornets. We have the Ixions running the Magnum Salvo heavy EMP Mervs, and more Sabo pods. 2 Liberators running.
Oh wow!
A lot of ion torpedoes here, and of course the built-in Magnum Fullman as well, which is also doing EMP damage. There's a lot of huge EMP focus on
potentially the ability to just shut down a ship a couple of times. That's an awful lot of EMP.
And then you have the single Karam running around with the strike flares, a couple of sledge guns, and a light ballista launcher.
Okay.
Okay. And
so
then,
SRA consistently has been able to dodge themselves out of trouble. but the amount of front-loaded damage that we've got here, I think they may catch out quite a lot of ships.
Also, SRA has gone very, very tall this time around. They're down to 5 hulls.
5? Oh.
Yeah, we're down to 5 hulls. They've gone for the Charybdis.
Okay, alright.
Running the built-in Dullahans, but then double Kobold and Skinwalkers with wave pulse cannons, chain gang CPCs. Ascadi running the Shikomi, 2 Nereid wings, a Wrath drone wing, another Skinwalker wing, running Barago LMP, LRMs, chain gang CPCs, a single wave pulse cannon, stabilized hardened shields, and integrated integrated insulated weapon engine assembly. Words. A regular Varder rather than the Red Wings Varder. So it has the mega chain CP seal built in rather than the wave pulse cannons that were built in to the other one. But it's still running multicast beams, a single wave pulse cannon, a massive particle lance, and CEPCs across the board, as well as a Nereid interceptor wing. The Mimir running triple wave pulse cannon, a single multicast beam there as well, and then a single Scylla running these particle lances and some cas beams and a phase lance.
So from notes, a major problem identified with the Round 4 fleet, namely that too many ships went in to die alone.
Sensation.
Therefore, in
It
round
happened.
5, we resort to
Finally, the
fewer
moment we
ships.
have all dreamed about.
Hopefully that they will all go in to die together. Interesting way of tackling the problem.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
I've seen other fleets try and do that very unsuccessfully, but I haven't seen a fleet as nimble as SRA try and do it. It might work.
So thank you for the gift sub, Daggerbird. Much appreciated. Let's see. You know what fleets, the factions here? We have the SRA, which is in the Interstellar Imperium here. These are the 2 fleets we're dealing with at the moment. For the last round of the day. I'm interested in this, because so far, previously, SRA was always going wide. Whereas now they've gone tall. Assembling Tolodia.
It's a risk. I think...
Oh my god, I
think what we're looking for, as always, is SRA diving forward and then seeing if they can extract themselves successfully and get a vent off, if they can recover.
I just saw the names. Left leg of the Forbidden One, left arm of the Forbidden One, Exodia the Forbidden One. We have literally Exodia. We have SRA's building Exodia here. Let's see if Interstellar can stop that from happening. The portrait didn't work. Oh, shame. Let's see how...
So both fleets have the
Why
ability
dictators?
to dish out a huge
They
amount
do
of
that a
damage
lot.
very quickly.
The dictators, like, I'm sure... The dictators, they're mooning the SRA. SRA have Ultra Win, they've got Exodia on the field, that is true. Let's see here. Barago's coming in. Barago immediately overloads the Karam. Immediately. Wow, gets melted.
There's no getting away from that.
Just gets melted by the Scylla's beams. Scylla versus the crazy heavy bombness of the Dictator. Dictator's taking a lot of damage already. About half hull. Dictator goes down. The wave pulse cannon. That Dictator's facing the wrong direction. The Adamus is trying.
They're all going in.
They're all going in. The Dictator. What is the Dictator doing? That Dictator just did not want to take part today. Both Dictators down. Immediately. The Scylla now taking this Ardea apart. Ixion's overloaded.
Now those EMP missiles may well turn the tide as ion torpedoes.
Let's see. No, because it's going to face the wrong direction.
Nope.
Yep, Liberator goes down. Only one left now. The Ardea is already low hull. Ardea goes down. The Charybdis was down, though. The left leg of the Forbidden One is down. The Adamas is technically still in one piece, however, it is running a high flux and is going to get melted, I think. It's trying its best to deal with this Mimir right now. Oh, okay. You actually get a good beam at the back there. However, you managed to overload the Mimir. The Mimir is currently overloaded. It's backing away. Missiles coming in.
Damage?
Yep. Mimir's gonna go down. Mimir goes down. Beautiful, beautiful light spear from the Adamas over there. Textbook light spear.
So we do have an Achilles heel for the SRA fleet. They don't have bubble shields, and they are very, very susceptible to the shots at the rear. They were having a little bit of trouble earlier in the round with those missiles curving around the back and forcing them to take some very odd positioning.
Second Ardea down. That's the fighter cover gone. They are very nimble though, so the Adamas can't really get behind them very easily. It managed to do that to the Mimir because the Mimir overloaded. Yep. All we're down is 2 Ixions now, 1 Ixion now. I think. Is there anything else down there? What? Oh, that was the command capsule. Was a retreating command capsule. Okay, now. Overloaded the Ixion. And Barra goes to take it off. Oh, or stilettos, I can't tell what this was. I mean, very good fight. I mean, that was textbook versus the Mimir over there. But the dictators... First dictator got inside and got basically hammered by the Scylla. The other one just arrived there and just spent the entire fight facing the wrong direction with a front-only shield.
Yep, it's going to be a very interesting replay to diagnose what happened there.
It did cost them an hour and a leg, though. Very well done. Very well done. Thank you, Nilesh. That was beautiful. Appreciate that. It's exactly the kind of sense of humor I appreciate. It did cost them an arm and a leg. Very good fight, though. I mean, it did my heart good to see, like, the Adamas just pull off, like, the perfect light spear.
That was very good.
Perfect light spear. Because it started to back off, and it's like, no, don't, it's overloaded, get in there. And it just managed to get back in time to... You see the damage of the light spear as well. Light spear, that is an 8,000 damage beam. It hurts a lot.
Sensation. It happened. Finally, the moment we have all dreamed about.
Shaitan there, and rewarding Nilesh for the pun. I appreciate it. Thank you, Shaitan.
So sometimes we get a meta across all of the fleets where they'll all go wide or they'll all go tall. And I think now we're really starting to see refined fleets where they'll go tall or they'll go wide based on their own preferences, based on their own strengths.
Again, still very good. I mean, this is probably the biggest knock SRA have had, but they put themselves in the position to have that knock. They set themselves up for that. For having...
It did feel like the general power level of their fleet was a lot higher from not needing to field so many smaller ships. They were able to field that extra capital or two, and it did feel like it made a difference.
I mean, the Scylla immediately deleted... like, the Karam died immediately. Fine. But again, the Scylla managed to basically solo the Dictator, because the Dictators... Last week with the proximity was sort of more amusing. This time it was less amusing because I think they didn't get a chance to do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was round 5, which has gone very quickly. I think the quickest matches we've had so far. And again, genuinely surprised at how fast the Magellan Scalar Tech match went. That was ridiculously fast. Yeah, that's yep.
I don't think we're going to see too many fleets try and change radically from what they're doing. I think the fleets that have gone wide are probably going to be thinking, if only I'd gone a little bit wider, maybe I could have won that.
You say that, but then like, SRA just did a huge swing from like very wide to very tall.
But I don't think they'll ever go back now that they've done it.
Now that it's proven to work situation. Now that it works, And it is, sure, it is very nice to see, like, big fancy ships doing what they're supposed to do. Oh, beautiful Olympus in the background there. Gotta love it. You doubt me? we're just baiting Pyro now to change SRA around. That was very well done. Very well done.
If anything, with the meta, I think we're seeing most of the fleets across all of the different factions go very front-loaded with their damage.
Mm.
We're starting to see Sabos appear a lot more. We're starting to see a lot more missile options get in there. The hammer barrages, of course, incredibly front-loaded. Quite rare to see them in tournament, I think.
Mm. They do turn up, I think, more in low-tech fleets. I think they were more common to turn up rather than midline, but it worked very well. I'm kind of sad we didn't really get to see the Liberators unload many, if any, of their ion torpedoes. Because that is a lot of ion damage.
I was expecting
there.
a full salvo.
Mm.
It'd be very interesting to just double check and see what the actual weapon groupings on this were.
It's an interesting situation. So I do not think. Again, if they'd managed to get, what are they doing here? They're all linked. They're all linked. They are alternating, but
they're all linked, but they're all linked to
They're alternating, not linked.
Yep. Okay.
Using them as the phase ship. Okay. I think unloading against the big capitals would have done a lot of good, I think. Because again, as the Adamas showed, all it needs is a moment to put the light spear into the backside of an overloaded ship and it'll just take it apart.
Very risky, but I think we're at the stage where you've got to take risks.
I mean, the Mimir dikes are overloaded in front of a light spear, basically. And given the fact that mobility is one of SRA's huge advantages, they're always very nimble and very quick.
Matches are getting short, aren't there? So it's not just me.
What matches are getting shorter?
Yeah, as we progress through the rounds, I think the front-loading of damage and the hyper-aggressiveness, like they're shaving seconds of it every single time we iterate through.
We're doing any percent speed runs of tournaments at this point. Well, I've written it down here. The fastest time we've had today is 174 seconds. That's the time to beat next week for round 6. There's only 2 more rounds left. What happens after that? Are you gonna get like an elimination cup, or are we gonna go for a second round robin stage? What's happening after that?
It depends how it's going to shake out, so to be decided.
Okay, to be decided. Fair enough. But
that is still a ridiculously fast time. Like, if you think about a single player game, 200 deployment points. That is not small.
No.
And just wiping it out in 170 seconds odd.
Well, think about it. 174 seconds. The first minute is people closing into gun range anyway.
Yeah.
So it was technically just under 2 minutes of actual fight time. But yeah, that was ridiculously strong. So I think, unless you have anything else to add, I think we're done for the week.
I think we're done for this week. I think it's going to be some interesting iteration for next round, and we'll see what people come up with, but that's it for today.
Yeah. So yeah, because my voice is recovering, I'm not going to do anything else after today. I'm not. Let's just go ahead here. Like you just got here, it's a shame. Yeah, I'll put the VOD up on YouTube tomorrow as per usual. Again, because my voice is recovering, I'm not going to go. I was thinking about maybe doing some Dark Tide after this, like I did last week, but I can't do it because my voice is all screwy. I don't want to stress it any more than I have to. So I will carry on. We'll do this again next week for round 6. And I'm back to normal scheduling. So Friday, tomorrow, and Saturday are Pathfinder days for me. Then Monday will be probably GTFO. Wednesday will be more Gloomhaven. And then next Thursday will be more round 6 of the tournament. But yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you, people. I'll find someone to raid, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye-bye.